Hi YouTube, this is Ben from Clean Water. Today we'd like to talk about detail of my RO filtration system. Last time I introduced what is RO system composed of in the sense of big chunks, but today I'll explain more detail. So let's get started from the water source. So tap water source is behind. You will be supposed to have two tap water source. One is hot and the other is cold. Obviously, for our RO system, we'll need a cold water. So starting from the cold water here, and I made a T here. So one still goes to the main faucet, but the other goes to the RO input. So this green goes to RO and then follows that line down here. Sorry about the last of our tubes, but down here, and I have a particle filter here, and then it goes down below to booster pump. And I also separate the video when is the boost pump necessary. So I place a link separately in the description. So booster pump basically, as the name suggests, boost the booster pump. So it boosts the water, low pressure water to higher pressure. So, and then it goes to follow this. The line goes to back behind, which is this the inlet of the water, inlet of the RO system, and I have water pressure gauge. So how much of the boost pressure coming from the booster pump it will tell. During the idle time of the boost pump, it shows the pressure, water pressure from the tap source. So which is not bad now, 75. So back to the RO system now. So since the boosted water pressure, the water goes into the RO system, you have a few or even several stages of filtration. Again, this is just one of my RO system, so I do not represent or endorse anything for this company. There are many under sink type of the RO system. So this has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first is a sediment filter, which mainly filters the chunk of particles, and second is a carbon filter, which mainly removes the organic chemicals, also removes the chlorines and things like that. So, and also removes some strong odors from the water. And then the major part of the RO system, which is the semi-permeable membrane, the reverse osmosis filter, so that it filters out down to 0.005 micron, so remove all kind of toxic chemicals present in the water. Finally, the second carbon filter, so it's a post carbon filters, so that if there's anything left over behind organic chemicals, removes that. So these 4 stages just for this specific brand. You might find, like, let's say even 5 or 6 stages, and but this is what I have. But the composition is probably very similar. You will only have a single RO membrane filter, which is this, and that is always located behind 2 filters. The major purpose to protect RO membrane filter, because this is major filter. If this is going bad too soon, you have a problem. So you have to replace a lot frequently, which is bad. So to protect this major filter, there are two filters in upstream. So like I said, sediment and carbon. And then there might be a couple more post RO membrane filters, such as for this case is post carbon filter, and maybe there are a couple more. And then for this case, after the post carbon filter, this is output of the RO, and let's see where it goes. This goes to the tank, which accumulates the clean water to this tank. This tank, it has a bladder in the down below, so and pressurized it. So as the water accumulates, and then it actually generates the pressure. So, and then I have a pressure gauge to show that. And there's a pressure switch that is a combo with this booster pump. So once the pressure reaches some set point that is set here and controlled here using like a hexa wrench, then it sends a signal, and then pump stops. So there's a pressure range that only operates in that way. RO system is not operating all the time, and that's how it works. Without booster pump, there is also check valve inside present. This unit, this is covered, but so over a certain pressure, that it works as the same way as I explained. So it just stops. So there's a valve here inside and stops the RO filtration process. For this case, because there is a booster pump and pressure switch, it overrides. So that's how the pump operates and overrides the operation of the RO. So that's how the water goes through the RO from inlet to outlet. Now there are a couple more tubes here, so let me explain. So there is a red tube here. This is brine in, so whatever generates filtered out, not a clean water, but there are another water out, which is dirty water. So that goes to the top. The brine out goes to the top for this case, where the faucet is. My faucet is the air gap faucet, which I will make a separate video for. So there is a air gap version and then no air gap version. For this case, air gap version has brine in input, and there's also brine out. So this is brine out coming down from the faucet. So it's completely isolated brine, which means that some white waste. So that in case there's a backflow of the waste generated, it doesn't back propagate to RO system, which is going to contaminate your water, which is very bad. So for air gap faucet, by removing the brine in and brine out, that doesn't happen. That never happens, which is a major advantage of the air gap faucet. Anyway, so how I'm explaining how this works and what is the red tube. So that water goes in to faucet upstairs, and the water comes down from upstairs down to waste line here. Okay, and there's one more line, which is actually output coming from the tank, and then it connects it to the faucet. So once a faucet is open, then it releases the water coming from this tank, so you can drink that. I made tea here so that this goes to my fridge. So there's a ball valve, just control in case if I don't want the water is not going to the fridge. So I can enjoy the clean water in my ice and then cold water. That's the case. So that's the basic and brief detailed description of how my RO system works here. So I have a separate video about this T-line goes to fridge and how to do that, and that's more detail. And then I make a couple more detailed videos, but then this is how my RO system is composed of. Any questions down below, please, and also any comments are welcomed. All right, here is it for today. Have a great day. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.